Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the FinTech Hunting podcast. We have an amazing guest for you today. He's an industry thought leader, a capital markets expert, a technology and analytics evangelist. Please help me welcome to the show, Brandonn Dukes, Chief Revenue Officer and Analytics Officer at LenderPrice. Brandonn, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, well, it is great to have you on. You have a wealth of knowledge and expertise. For our listeners who don't know you, share a little bit of your background and some of the highlights on this mortgage journey that you've been on.
Well, like so many others, I found myself in the mortgage business. It wasn't necessarily something I sought out. But once I was here, I truly find it one of the most fascinating lines of business in the lending community. There's so much thought and detail associated with getting people into homes, from the space of starting with the realtor and getting that opportunity to view a house, to finding that perfect lender that allows you to get that loan, purchase the house and get moved in. Like it's a process in somebody's life that is so meaningful, and you want it to be as comfortable as possible. You want it to be easy. I know, right. When I bought a house, I wanted it to be easy. And that is what I feel everybody wants to make this business. They want to make it easy, but there's so much going on behind the scenes to try to get it to that level. And there is a lot of complexity and so many rules, so many regulations, so many things to cover that you never stop learning. You never stop finding out new and exciting ways to try to get that benefit to the end customer, which is really the goal.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the stops along the way and some of the lessons learned, because you, like I said, you have a wealth of knowledge and expertise and just incredible experiences.
The market has taught me the most. The ups and downs of the space. Unfortunately, the crashes and the booms teach you so much on what you need to do to prepare for the future. And so some of those stops, spending all that time in capital markets, in revenue management, trying to understand what it is that you need to be doing and you need to focus on to make sure that you can deliver. The capacity constraints that come with the booms, the detail and granular nature of margin management when you're trying to get that extra basis point when times and margins are low. Some of the situations I found myself in where margins have to get increased just to slow down the phone calls. That people think that's great.
Counterintuitive, right? I mean, it almost goes against everything you believe of. We want to grow, we want to hit these numbers, and then you're like, hey, we've got to turn the knobs a little bit because we can't handle all of this growth and deliver the experience that we want.
Absolutely, and being in those times, everybody thinks it's great because we're doing a lot of volume and we're putting a lot of people in homes. But it's equally as stressful. You've got the flip side of that, where originators are working until the wee hours of the morning. Processors, fulfillment, the trade desk, the pooling, everything. Everybody's working so hard. Yet margins are great, volume's great. Everybody thinks it's fantastic. Yet it's still a bit of a struggle during those times because all that volume causes a lot of stress and brings a lot of burden onto the teams. And absolutely. Likewise, when you're not busy and margins are thin and volume is down, you stress because you're not busy enough. And it comes full circle a bit where job security and that comfort also comes with being very busy. So
how have those experiences prepared you for this new role at LenderPrice as Chief Revenue and Analytics Officer? Kind of talk to me about that, of how you can apply those experiences to deliver a great experience for the LenderPrice customers?
One of the transitions in my career is when I moved from the lender space into the vendor space, and being a vendor to the mortgage community and the home lending community. And it took me from a more narrow view. It took me from a more narrow view to seeing how it works behind the curtain at a lot of different institutions. And to me, that is what was the most eye-opening. Is you think that there's one way to do something, but there's not. A lot of people do it a lot of different ways, and so having that experience when I joined into this space, and providing something that actually you didn't need to lend alone. I was in the data analytics. You could function without a lot of these tools and a lot of these products, but I wouldn't want to. I learned very quickly that having that information, which I had used in my previous life in on the lending side, was invaluable to the process. You couldn't get enough of it. You couldn't get enough of the data and analytics behind what it is that you were trying to accomplish, whether it's have the best price in the market, grow your share, grow your volume, manage it to capacity constraints, find that new product that's out there, and figuring out if it's real. How many times on the capital markets desk you got a call that said, "Oh, well, I got beat by this. I lost this one loan."
Right.
Yeah, but you won those other 10, but you lost that one loan.
That one is what they're focused on. Yep.
Absolutely. And so coming over to the vendor space where you're trying to help them win all 10 loans, you want to give them that information and give them the technology, and you want to give them the data to find that 10th loan that they can get. So whether or not they choose to implement a new product or adjust their price position to do that really falls on the lenders. And what we try to do is just make it as easy as possible for them to make those decisions.
So let's talk about data and analytics. For one, data has been in the mortgage industry. Let's just say I've been in the industry a couple decades. We'll leave it at that, right? But how do you make it more meaningful and more usable? Because I think in today's market, as you have to shift to changing market conditions, how do you make that data accessible and usable for your clientele?
I think you help them. So there's so much data. And maybe you don't have the right data or enough of the right data, but there's so much data to sift through. And so how can you help your clients understand what data is most important for the decisions that they're trying to make? Understanding how other people are priced, understanding how to pool certain loans together to finalize your securities. It's something that you spend so much time sifting through, but are you really looking at it the right way? So what can we do as in the vendor space to help lenders really take a look at that data and really understand it and really position it where they can make decisions, good decisions off of it? And then ultimately, you do ultimately have to put it in their hands. Giving them the data and hopefully positioning in the right way allows them to look at it and then just make that decision.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, when you're looking at too much data, it's paralyzing,
Right.
and you end up not making a decision. And what a lot of people don't necessarily see from all this data, because they're always trying to make a decision for the next day or the future, is actually understanding the why. Helping somebody understand why something happened is pretty pivotal, and this data can help you do that. Why did our volume go up and our share go down?
Right.
Why did that product not become more successful? Why is our volume down at this one branch location? Understanding and digging through the data can help you understand that why. And then when you have that, hopefully it helps you shape your strategy and make good decisions going forward.
I love it. And in addition to data and analytics, how has capital markets technology evolved over the years?
Technology is been tricky. There have been some staples in the industry when it comes to technology. There are certain things that you have to lend in this space. What I feel technology has done over time is become more reliable. I think the reliability component of technology and creating that product that is easy to use, makes it easy to use, is something that we really strive for, especially here at LenderPrice. One of the things that was a foundation for the company was creating a single tenant platform. And we have a lot of strong experience delivering single tenant platforms to some of our major lenders and giving them that flexibility and giving them that comfort that we're not going to force a release on them on our timetable, but it's going to happen on their timetable. And I think having those options for the lending community is pivotal to the success of our company.
Outstanding. And I couldn't agree more. You've really got to tune in and say, okay, how does the technology improve? Whether it improves the borrower experience, the user experience, and your user is not the borrower, it is the lender. And how can they use the data and the analytics? What are some of the things you see coming down the pike from a technology perspective that, especially from a capital markets perspective, people should be aware of?
I think as you get into any space where we start to limit the number of products that go out there when times are great and there's plenty of secondary marketing capacity to find spots for all your loans. It's it's being prepared for those loans that don't fit in the box. And so, from a non-QM perspective, or from an exceptions perspective, I think having that flexibility in your technology space to make sure that you can fund every loan that you want to fund, and having that broad horizon that you can look at and say, okay, we can create products for our customers, and any platform that allows you to do that is pretty key to just the way this business continues to evolve.
And how do you assess or how do you work with clients to really uncover those needs so that you're constantly working and developing and delivering technology that meets those constantly changing needs of the lender?
It if you're not talking to your clients, then you're missing something. And I think that's where most of your ideas come from. Uh, is you get out there, you get face to face, and you allow them to talk to you and tell you what they're seeing and what their needs are. Everybody, like I said, does it different, and when you are able to listen to them and maybe apply what they bring to the table to the product that you have, or simply let them know, that's an interesting point. However, you could do it this way, and this product will help support you in that way, because there's a lot of functionality to most of the technology products out there that people don't use, that
Right.
people aren't familiar with, or they don't have the time to learn. And so it's listening to them and letting them know that, hey, we actually already have something that can help you. You don't have to go out there and build something new. You don't have to go proprietary. There are platforms out there that can be plug and play and allow you to get into that new way of doing things without having to build something from scratch.
Well, and I couldn't agree more about there's so much technology out there that people are only using a fraction of it. The example I always use is the cell phone right here. I mean, most people only use about 20% of the capacity of what that phone could actually do. Now look at a product and pricing and eligibility engine, look at a loan origination system, a POS, name it, and you can see that there needs to be greater user adoption. And I think that if done right, can also lower the cost to originate because people are really maximizing the technology and the platforms that they already have access to. Brandon, you have a wealth of knowledge and expertise. You and I could continue to talk forever and ever, but one of the things I know as Chief Revenue Officer in this industry, engagement is key. Talk to me about some of the major trade shows and events that you guys have this year. Where can people come and meet you and your team and all the incredible technology that you guys are rolling out and delivering to the marketplace?
Well, I have a flight on Sunday to Southern California from my home in Texas. Western Secondary is next week. I'm teed up to meet with some familiar faces and make some new friends. Following on that, in this quarter, we've got Acuma partnering with our friends in the credit union space, AIM and NAM cultivating our relationships with the wholesale lenders in the broker community, and of course the staple in the industry, MBA Annual. There's something for everyone at MBA Annual, and usually it is a fantastic place to get all those different viewpoints we were talking about, because it's not just how your product is impacting your direct buyer. These products, the PPEs specifically, impact across the organization. It's not just capital markets, it's production and marketing. How do these products get used in those formats? There's clients talking to us about bulk pricing, bulk API, pricing out their servicing book. And that's something that we can talk to you about, so that from a marketing perspective, you're prepared when your loans get in the money, and you're you want to get after it, and you want to market to those borrowers, and you get effectively a head start, hopefully, on your competitors to try to retain that business. Losing servicing asset is expensive, and you want to try to maintain it.
Yep. So besides all of the conferences, if people want to have a further discussion with you, if they want to find out more about all the incredible things that LenderPrice is doing, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you?
Well, aside from putting my phone number out here on the web, but LenderPrice, going online and clicking through to our website is one of the first ways to see the products that we have out there. And we have a contact sheet on there that we can you can populate, and it will get to us, and we'll reach out as soon as possible.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to meeting you in person at some of these upcoming conferences. I'll be at a number of the ones that you had mentioned. And I can't thank you enough for being a guest on this episode of the FinTech Hunting Podcast.
Thank you very much.